Tonight's drama shakes reality TV to its core. Fans are shocked as chaos erupts behind the scenes, a violent fight stops production cold, and insiders whisper that it's really over. Emotions ran high, alliances shattered, and one powerful woman made a move nobody saw coming. This is a fictional dramatization created for entertainment purposes only. The cameras were still rolling when the room went silent. 1 second, the cast was screaming over each other, fingers in faces, decades-old beefs exploding all at once. The next second, a producer's voice cracked through the chaos, yelling for everyone to cut. Fans would later hear whispers, but nobody was prepared for just how fast everything unraveled. Backstage, emotions ran high. Security rushed in as 2 cast members were pulled apart, wigs crooked, makeup smeared, pride shattered. Someone knocked over a lighting stand. Someone else was crying uncontrollably in the corner, screaming, "This is exactly why this show is cursed." Phones were already out. Texts were flying. Within minutes, the entire building buzzed with one question: was this finally the fight that ended it all? In the hallway, longtime cast member Renee paced back and forth, hands shaking. "I warned them," she snapped at a stunned assistant. "I said pushing that storyline would blow up. Nobody listens until blood's almost on the floor." Her voice cracked, revealing fear underneath the anger. This wasn't just TV drama anymore. This was her paycheck, her reputation, her family watching at home. Across the room, Malik sat slumped on a crate, staring at the ground. "They made me look like the villain again," he muttered. "Every season, same thing. I'm done." When a producer tried to calm him down, Malik stood up abruptly. "No, y'all are done. This show feeds off tearing people apart." Meanwhile, word reached the executive offices upstairs. Doors closed, curtains drawn, faces serious. Insiders later claimed the energy shifted instantly from damage control to decision-making. One senior producer whispered, "If this leaks, we're finished." Another responded quietly, "It already has." Fans were shocked when blurry clips began circulating online within the hour. Hashtags trended, comment sections exploded. Some viewers demanded accountability, others begged the network not to cancel the show. "We grew up with this franchise," one fan wrote, "but this feels dark now." Then came the moment nobody expected. In a private meeting away from the chaos, Mona sat calmly, hands folded, eyes unreadable. She listened as executives argued, voices overlapping, panic thick in the air. Finally, she spoke. "I'm not fighting to save something that's destroying itself," she said coolly. The room froze. "I built this platform to tell stories, not to watch people self-destruct on cue." Someone asked if she meant a hiatus. Another suggested a cast overhaul. Mona stood up. "No, I mean I'm moving on." Outside, the family was left divided. Cast members cried, yelled, blamed each other. Some begged for one more chance. Others secretly felt relief. As security escorted everyone out, one producer whispered what would soon become the headline heard around the internet: "Love and Hip Hop is done." And that was only the beginning. By the next morning, the fallout had spread far beyond the studio walls. Group chats that once buzzed with jokes and inside slang turned ice cold. Messages were left on read. Some were screenshotted and leaked. Others were deleted too late. Everyone was pointing fingers, and nobody wanted to be the one blamed for killing the franchise that fed them all. Renee woke up to her phone vibrating nonstop. Missed calls, unknown numbers, a voicemail from her sister saying, "Mom is crying, turn on the TV." When Renee finally checked social media, her stomach dropped. Blogs were already running headlines claiming she started the fight. Fans were shocked, dissecting freeze frames, slow-motion clips, and audio snippets like courtroom evidence. "That's not how it happened," Renee yelled, pacing her living room. "They pushed me, they cornered me." Her cousin tried to calm her down. "You know how this goes. The show needs a villain." Renee stopped cold. "Needed," she corrected. Past tense. Across town, Malik sat with his mother at her kitchen table. She slid a cup of tea toward him, her face heavy with worry. "I watched last night," she said softly. "You didn't look happy anymore." Malik swallowed hard. "I haven't been for a long time." His phone buzzed with a message from another cast member. "You think Mona really done?" Malik typed back 3 words. "Feels final to me." At the same time, another castmate, Jada, went live on social media, eyes red, voice shaking. "Y'all don't know the half," she told thousands of viewers. "We were promised protection, we were promised boundaries. Instead, they kept poking the bear." Comments flooded in. Some supported her, others accused her of chasing clout now that the show was over. Emotions ran high everywhere. Behind closed doors, emergency meetings continued. Network executives argued over liability, contracts, and damage control. "We can spin this," one insisted. A reboot, a pause, another snapped back. "Spin what? There's footage of security dragging people out." A lawyer quietly reminded them, "and there are injuries." Then the call came that sent shockwaves through the cast. Production was officially suspended, indefinitely. When the message hit their inboxes, silence followed. No emojis, no replies, just the realization settling in. For some, this show paid rent, supported families, funded dreams. For others, it had become a toxic cycle they didn't know how to escape until now. Renee broke down in tears. "What am I supposed to do now?" she whispered to herself. Malik stared at the wall, feeling equal parts panic and relief. Jada slammed her phone down. "They used us," she said bitterly. "And now they're done with us." But the most shocking reaction came later that night. Mona released a brief, carefully worded statement. No names, no apologies, just one line that sent fans into a frenzy. "Some chapters must end so new ones can begin." Fans were shocked. Was this really goodbye, or the beginning of something no one saw coming? As theories spread and loyalties fractured, one thing was clear: the drama was far from over. Just when the cast thought things couldn't get messier, the secrets started spilling. 2 days after the suspension notice, an anonymous source dropped what they claimed was the real reason the fight exploded. Audio recordings, old emails, private DMs taken wildly out of context. Fans were shocked as bloggers ran with the story that producers had allegedly promised certain cast members protection while quietly encouraging others to provoke them on camera. "That's manipulation," one viral tweet read. "They turned real pain into entertainment." Inside the fractured cast circle, paranoia took over. Everyone suspected everyone. Who leaked the audio? Who sold the screenshots? Who was trying to rewrite history to save their image? Renee confronted Jada over FaceTime, her voice shaking with fury. "Was it you?" she demanded. Jada's eyes widened. "You really think I'd do that?" She shot back. "You think I want my kids Googling my name and seeing this mess?" The call ended abruptly, unanswered questions hanging heavy in the air. Malik, meanwhile, received a call from an old friend who'd left the show seasons ago. "I told you this would happen," the friend said quietly. "They don't protect you, they protect the storyline." Malik closed his eyes, feeling the truth of it sink in. "So what now?" he asked. The answer came fast. "Now you decide who you are without the cameras." But not everyone was ready to let go. A group of cast members secretly met at a restaurant after hours. No phones, no assistants, just raw nerves and desperation. "We can save this," one insisted. "We go to the network together." "Demand changes," another laughed bitterly. "You think they care now?" Mona already walked. That name hung in the air like a final verdict. Outside that room, fans were choosing sides. Some rallied behind Mona, praising her for stepping away from what they called a toxic machine. Others accused her of abandoning the very people who made the franchise iconic. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Emotions ran high, and the family was left divided not just on screen but across the fandom itself. Then came another twist. A former producer went public. In a tense interview, they claimed the fight wasn't spontaneous at all. It was inevitable, they said. When you keep reopening old wounds for ratings, someone eventually bleeds. The internet exploded, clips resurfaced, old fights were re-examined, fans began asking uncomfortable questions about how much of the chaos was truly reality. For Renee, the backlash became unbearable. She stopped leaving her house. Her mother begged her to apologize publicly. Her friends urged her to stay quiet. "Anything you say will be twisted," one warned. Renee stared at the blank screen of her phone, torn between defending herself and walking away forever. Malik made his decision quietly. He declined an interview request, then another, then another. "I'm done explaining myself," he told his mother. "If the show's over, let it be over." But the silence didn't last long. Late one night, a cryptic post appeared from Mona herself. No caption, just a black screen with white text. "Growth requires distance." Fans were shocked all over again. Was she hinting at a new project? A rebrand? A clean break from the chaos she helped create? Or was this her final word on a franchise that changed reality TV forever? As tension built and answers remained scarce, one truth became impossible to ignore: this wasn't just the end of a show. It was the unraveling of identities, relationships, and dreams built under bright lights that suddenly went dark. And the next move would change everything. By the end of that week, the silence became louder than the chaos ever was. The studio lot sat empty, gates closed, lights off. No trailers, no glam squads, no camera crews pacing with coffee cups and headsets. What once felt like a second home for the cast now felt like a locked door to a past life. For years, the show had blurred the line between performance and reality, but now there was no script, no call time, and no safety net. Renee finally broke her silence. She posted a shaky, late-night video from her bedroom, face bare, voice trembling. "I gave this show everything," she said. "My relationships, my family, my mental health. And now I'm being painted like I'm disposable." Fans were shocked by the rawness. Comments poured in, some apologizing, others accusing her of playing victim too late. Her phone rang minutes later. It was her father. "You need to log off," he said firmly. "This machine doesn't love you." Renee wiped her tears. "I don't know who I am without it," she admitted. There was a pause before he replied, "Then maybe this ending is mercy." Elsewhere, Malik faced his own reckoning. Without cameras around, the anger he'd carried for years finally surfaced. He started therapy, something he'd always postponed because it didn't fit his on-screen persona. "I was performing pain," he confessed in one session, "and they rewarded me for it." The realization hit hard. For the first time, he wasn't fighting for screen time. He was fighting for peace. Not everyone found clarity so easily. Jada, feeling cornered by public opinion, doubled down. She gave interview after interview, her story shifting slightly each time. They cut out context, she claimed. They wanted explosions, not conversations. Critics noticed the inconsistencies. Blogs labeled her unreliable. Former friends stopped answering her calls. The family was left divided, and Jada felt it acutely. Then came the leak that changed the narrative again. A long, detailed memo surfaced online, allegedly outlining future story arcs that would never be filmed. Betrayals planned months in advance. Reunions designed to reopen trauma. Confessions scheduled like calendar events. Fans were shocked, realizing how much of the reality had been engineered. The outrage spread beyond the fandom into mainstream media. That's when the network finally spoke. In a carefully staged press appearance, an executive expressed concern and reflection, promising internal reviews and new standards. But they stopped short of announcing cancellation. Instead, they used a word that unsettled everyone: transition. Behind the scenes, the truth was less polished. Contracts were quietly terminated, sets dismantled, staff reassigned. The message was clear even if it wasn't said out loud: the era was over. And Mona? She was nowhere to be seen. No interviews, no statements, just distance, until a surprise announcement dropped early one morning. A new production company, a new mission statement, new voices, no familiar cast names attached. Fans were shocked and confused. Some praised the move as growth. Others accused her of erasing history. "She built an empire on our mess," one comment read. "Now she wants a clean slate." The cast found out the same way everyone else did, online. Renee laughed bitterly when she saw it. "So that's it," she said to her cousin. "We're footnotes." Malik nodded quietly. "Or warnings. But not all endings stayed endings." A rival network reportedly reached out to several cast members, hinting at a tell-all special. The temptation was real. Money, closure, revenge. Group chats reignited. Old alliances tested the waters again. "This could be our chance to tell the truth," Jada argued. Malik refused immediately. "That's how it starts all over," he said. "Different logo, same damage." Renee hesitated. She sat alone that night, contract offer open on her laptop. Her phone buzzed with encouragement from fans begging her to speak out. She imagined stepping back into the spotlight, reclaiming her narrative. Then she imagined waking up sick with anxiety again, bracing for another round of judgment. She closed the laptop. "I'm choosing myself," she whispered. When the tell-all special aired without her, fans noticed. They noticed Malik's absence too. The show did well in ratings, but something was missing. The chaos felt hollow, forced. The audience could sense it. The comments said it all. "This feels like leftovers." Months passed. The cast scattered into new lives, some thriving, some struggling, some still chasing relevance. The fandom slowly moved on, though debates still flared any time a clip resurfaced. Emotions ran high even in hindsight. And every so often, someone would ask the question that never fully disappeared. Was it really the fight that ended everything, or was it a system that finally collapsed under its own weight? The answer depended on who you asked. But one thing remained undeniable: nothing would ever be the same again. So now it's your turn. Was this really the fight that shut everything down, or was the end inevitable long before the cameras stopped rolling? Fans are shocked, emotions are still running high, and so many questions remain unanswered. If you've been following this drama from the start, you already know nothing in this world is ever simple. Drop your thoughts in the comments, tell us whose side you're on and what you think should have happened next. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next twist in the drama.